Of course, every day is not boring. Some days are extremely stressful, loud, overwhelming, and I feel rushed and so overstimulated. But lucky for me, today was a pretty chill day. Today is Saturday, so everybody's at home, which is honestly like my favorite way to spend my days is with my family. We have a lot of daily chores that we do, and I didn't realize how much we do in a day as a family until I was actually editing this video. I'll be bringing you along for our day to see how our backyard homestead functions on a daily basis. I will definitely say I never thought I would see my life here, but I love it. But it's very different from the life that I used to live. Every day pretty much starts the same way. I feel like that's pretty typical for most families. You usually wake up, have a cup of coffee, make some breakfast. Usually I will either unload the dishwasher and then load the dishwasher. So there's a lot of stuff that I do in the morning. Today I made a very simple breakfast. I'm getting a ton of peppers out of my garden right now, so I sauteed some onions and peppers, and of course we have chickens and quail. So pretty much every morning I have eggs, or we try to use eggs in some way, especially in the summertime because we are pretty much swimming in eggs right now. One thing we've really been trying to focus on this past year is composting any of our extra scraps that we either don't save for broth or don't feed the chickens. Usually it's eggshells or like the peels of onions or just something that wouldn't sound or wouldn't taste good in like a broth. While I was out there, I figured I would check on my potatoes. Unfortunately, we got rain a few days ago, so they're still pretty muddy, so I'm gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. My husband's band had a show this night, and we thought it'd be a really good idea to bake a loaf of bread so I could slice it up for him, and then he could have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches instead of having to eat out. This is actually a really easy recipe for bread. If you have a KitchenAid, it's even easier, but you can knead it by hand. It's just a little bit more time consuming and tedious, and I love my KitchenAid, so I usually just use the KitchenAid, but I also made it in a pretty recent video, so I'll link that video in the description as well. I talk about it a little bit more in depth. We all eat meals at different times, which is why we always end up eating different things, but Delilah was making herself a scrambled quail egg sandwich. I actually made the whole sandwich for her, but I told her as long as she shelled the quail eggs, I would make her the sandwich. These quail eggs are kind of tedious to open. We actually use a scissors. If you have had quail eggs before, you totally know it's such a pain. So I was like, hey, if you cut your eggs, I will make you the sandwich. And she was like, deal. So I'm kind of multitasking, making bread and also making a breakfast sandwich for my daughter.
Blue dude, blue moon, kinda mysterious, shaded with someone I'm not really into.
A lot of my days revolve around food, for better or for worse. Since I am kind of committed to not eating out, I cook a lot. So here I am just getting lunch ready. I like to always have some sort of starch like rice or pasta on hand. It's just really helpful for me and the kids. If we're super hungry, it's just easy just to grab something out of the fridge. I also made tofu. I love tofu, and the loaf of bread was done. Charlie helps me make bread quite often. It's actually really helpful because I don't have to do it every time, which I'm very grateful for. I love making these videos, but I'm not gonna lie, it feels really silly to make them sometimes. Like if you think about it, filming yourself doing your everyday things is bizarre. So sometimes I have a little bit of a hard time actually taking it seriously, which honestly, I think that's probably for the best. Here I am just doing some dishes. Just, changing the world one dish at a time.
Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue? Not blue.
So we live in a pretty small house. I'm talking like 1,100 square feet, and there's 4 of us, and I just cannot ever seem to have a handle on my clutter, and I don't know if that's just me. If you live in a small house, let me know. But I have slowly been starting to declutter the house again, and it's really been making me feel a lot better just because I'm just one of those people that gets really stressed out with a ton of clutter, but I have very little extra time to be decluttering. So I've just been trying to do really small decluttering and tidying projects pretty much whenever I get a chance, but I have been making like a conscious effort. I feel like in the past I've just had it on my mind and then I let it, like I forget about it. But I have found if I keep something on my mind regularly, I'm more likely to be consistent with the things that I'm trying to do.
I'm an expert at overthinking things that I shouldn't. You come across as a cool guy, someone is the opposite. And all my friends are leaving, but I wanna stay here. Can we just stay here? Maybe just one more drink. I can't help but think, where have you been? All my life, all the lonely nights. You were always there at the same damn bar. I just never lose your way. And I've seen every ocean, but I've never seen the color blue. Looking into your eyes. Blue.
In our backyard, we not only have chickens, but we also have quail that lay eggs for us. We did hatch these actually from babies, and if you follow me on Instagram, you probably remember that last year. But Charlie is kind of our chicken tender. He takes care of all of the animals, and quail are probably the most work. And it's really not even that bad. I think it takes Charlie maybe 15, 20 minutes every day to do the quail and the chicken chores. Chicken chores are a lot easier to do. They're a little bit more spread out. We are currently dealing with our very first broody hen, and it hasn't been too bad. She's doing pretty good. She's not super aggressive, but definitely a new thing for us this year, so we're just trying to figure that out.
I think that on the weekends,
Don't wanna sleep tonight at all.
Spade.
Just wanna watch them stars fall. But you don't wanna try to make up dreams just to be seen. I wanna lay here beside you, oh quiet. Fire breath and open sky. It's not what we know, it's where we go. I grow wings and tell her goodbye. Oh, it's not what we see, it's what we choose to be. dress and bare feet. Oh, but you each second is a treat. I keep my balance next to you. It's true. Nowadays there's nothing I wouldn't do for you. Fire breath and open sky. It's not what we know, it's where we go. I grow wings and tell worry goodbye. It's not what we see, it's what we choose to be. We're beyond good. I've never been so ready. Fire breath and open sky. It's not what we know, it's where we go.
Well, dinner time has arrived. And if you're thinking, wow, Alyssa, all you do is make food, you're correct. All I do all day long is I grow food, I make food, and I preserve food. That's my entire life. I'm just the food beesh. The food beesh be foodin'. Someone's gotta go downstairs to get some peas. My dad called me while I was watering the garden. I just left the sprinkler on for probably an hour. Oh my god.
Is that a blue jay?
Oh, yeah, that's a blue jay. Aren't they annoying?
Yeah, that's not a pretty song.
No. Nice little loafer for the husband.
And the bad guys.
And the boys.
And the sound guy.